To drive their biological daughter out of the house, the father and stepmother joined forces to lie that the family was going to jail. They told the girl to run away quickly. Unexpectedly, the girl who had always despised the poor and loved the rich refused. She even insisted on living and dying with the family. The reason Grace's personality had changed so drastically was because she had been reborn. In her previous life, she believed her father's lies and fled with the money in a hurry. However, not long after she left home, a famine broke out in the city. Grace's money was taken by the disaster victims. She was even thrown into a crowd of refugees by Daisy, the stepsister, born of the stepmother. Grace suffered endless humiliation. Only moments before her death did Grace learn that her family was never in danger of imprisonment. Her father had even been promoted. They used lies to drive Grace away so that Daisy could take her place in the marriage contract and marry the prince to become a princess. Grace swore in hatred that if she had another life, she would make them pay a terrible price. Grace died on a cold, snowy night, and when she opened her eyes again, she was back on the day her father lied to her. This time, when faced with her father and stepmother's performance, Grace acted even more sincere than they did. She insisted on staying to face everything together. Just when they were at a loss, Jack, the younger brother born to the stepmother, returned from outside and accidentally revealed the truth. Seeing the situation exposed, the father quickly found a new excuse. He accused Grace's reputation for bad temper of affecting his promotion and hoped she would leave for a while. Grace agreed readily, but she demanded £1,000 of gold as travel expenses. Jack angrily insulted Grace, but Grace slapped him across the face. She said that everything used in this house came from her mother's dowry and should have belonged to her, not the stepmother and her children. Hearing this, the father immediately felt guilty because everything Grace said was true, and her maternal grandmother held an esteemed status. The father feared Grace would go back and complain, so he had no choice but to give her the £1,000 of gold. But Grace didn't stop there. Instead, she directly tore off the jade pendant from Daisy's neck. It was her mother's relic, yet Daisy had been keeping it. Now it should be taken back. And this jade pendant was no ordinary item. Grace returned to her room to study the pendant, and suddenly discovered a portable space. It turned out the pendant was a spiritual artifact. This space could store anything in the world, and could even conduct trades inside. A famine would break out in half a month, so this pendant would be extremely useful. Grace went to the courtyard to gather supplies, but unexpectedly overheard the stepmother and Jack talking. Tomorrow, the whole family would go on an outing, leaving only Jack behind. The goal was for Jack to steal Grace's gold. Grace was delighted to hear this. She happened to need an excuse to empty the family's property. Now, Jack could serve as the scapegoat. After everyone left, Grace began her grand sweep. She activated one-click storage, and all the valuables in the house were stored into the pendant. Besides the storeroom and the hall bedroom, Grace also found her father's secret chamber and took all his treasured jewels. Late at night, Jack brought 2 henchmen to steal the gold, only to find Grace's bedroom completely empty. Just as they were confused, Grace arrived with people and captured them. After a night of severe interrogation, the 2 thieves quickly confessed to conspiring with Jack. Grace had already invited her esteemed grandmother, and the grandmother immediately wanted to send the 3 to the police station. At this moment, Grace's father and his family suddenly rushed back. The father stopped them from calling the police, and accused Grace of being too petty and unforgiving toward her own brother. However, when the father learned that all the valuables in the house were gone, the whole family was stunned. Little did they know that even more terrifying things were still waiting for them.